How does your product engage with audiences, and how would it be distributed as a real media text? Much like the previous reflection question, I will be splitting this question into two parts. The first part will be addressing how my product engages with audiences. The fashion demographic consists of younger females that are consumers and high-income consumers. For my magazine to be successful, I had my target audience cover that demographic. With that, I believe my magazine engages my audience through the entire production, highlighting images, fonts, colors, and layouts. Images. I played around with lighting and angles to ensure that it was the best quality possible. I then edited them to enhance the beauty of the model and get rid of unwanted elements in the background. I made sure to include the most amount of images possible to keep the audience interested and entertained. The key to keeping the audience engaged is to have images fit the theme of fashion, which is the unique outfits and creative poses. Fonts. I strategically picked out fonts that fit within the theme the best. I made sure to use a variety of fonts without it looking claustrophobic. To engage the audience, I separated the fonts within importance. For example, the masthead, subtitles, and content were all different fonts. Colors. All throughout my production, I have color schemes. The cover and spread has one color scheme, while the table of contents had a different one. This engaged my audience through the entertainment it provided. It is clean, sleek, and aesthetically pleasing. I used red as the masthead and subtitles. Red is a powerful and bold color. I wanted these features to stand out, hence the color choice. I kept within the color scheme with the font, and everything flows in unison and makes sense. On my layouts, on my front cover, I decided to engage my audience with content. Fashion magazines tend to address a lot of information on the cover, and I kept within that theme. On my contents page, I used geometry to embed images and lots of information to engage the audience visually and logically. For my double spread, I used shapes, images, and text to engage the audience. I provided a lot of information that relates to the images and subtitles. The layout for all my pieces were modern-esque and simple. Part 2. Being how it would be distributed as a real media text. Distribution is a way in which something is shared out or spread over an area. This is also a very large part of a magazine's overall costs. Magazine distribution. Every magazine has their own publisher depending on the type of magazine. After a magazine is put together, it needs to be printed and distributed so it can get to the consumers it is aimed at. Fashion magazines are typically distributed at supermarkets. Being that my production is a fashion magazine, it would be sold at the typical normal place. Generate profit. Besides spreading information, media content is meant to be sold in order to gain a profit. If my magazine were to be real media text, I would distribute and sell it rather than providing it as a complementary content. I believe that my magazine is entertaining and provides good advice for those in need. It contains information, gossip, and visual content, which is a must, and why people would pay to read or flip through it. Specific location. If I were to choose a distributor, I would choose Export Press. Per my research, they are an international distributor for luxury magazines, which includes fashion. As for where it would be distributed to, it would be bookstores and supermarkets, as I have found that they are the most successful in those locations. Reflection. Looking back at my production, I believe that it fully engages the audience with the place of visuals and text. Additionally, it engages the aimed target audience. Fashion is not an interesting topic for everyone. However, this magazine appeals to those who are interested. Although I could have added a touch more images on the spread to balance out the table of contents, overall, I am very pleased with the turnout. Thank you.